Theologians behind the Denominatio, the Church of Christ. A return to the New Testament. When people hear Church of Christ, they often think of a group deeply committed to restoring the faith and practice of the early church. And that's exactly the goal of this movement. Born out of the Restoration movement of the early 1800s, the Church of Christ has no denominational headquarters, no creed but the Bible, and no name but that of Christ. Their rallying cry? We speak where the Bible speaks and are silent where the Bible is silent. Historical roots. The Church of Christ grew out of a desire for Christian unity and New Testament simplicity. It traces its roots to leaders like Thomas Campbell and his son Alexander Campbell, as well as Barton W. Stone. These men were originally Presbyterian ministers who became disillusioned by division and denominationalism. Their solution? Lay aside man-made creeds and return to the New Testament church model. They emphasized baptism by immersion, weekly communion, and congregational autonomy. Each local church governed by its own elders and deacons without outside hierarchy. By the late 1800s, the movement split. One branch became the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, while another held more strictly to the original principles, and that branch became what we now call the Churches of Christ. Distinctive beliefs. Churches of Christ teach that baptism is essential for salvation, not just a public symbol, but the moment one puts on Christ, Galatians 3:27, and receives the remission of sins, Acts 2:38. Another defining trait, a cappella worship. Many Churches of Christ do not use musical instruments, believing there's no New Testament command or example authorizing them. This reflects their strong principle of biblical silence. If the Bible doesn't say to do it, they don't. Most congregations also reject denominational titles like pastor, reverend, or bishop. Instead, they follow the structure seen in the New Testament: evangelists, elders, and deacons. Modern challenges. While their emphasis on Scripture is commendable, critics argue that some Churches of Christ can lean toward legalism, valuing rigid doctrinal conformity over grace and fellowship. There's also internal diversity. While many congregations hold to traditional views, others have embraced instruments, expanded roles for women, or modified their stance on other issues, though these remain in the minority. Final thought. Whether you agree with every point or not, the Church of Christ stands as a bold reminder of what can happen when believers pursue unity, simplicity, and a return to the Bible alone. Their influence has been strong, especially across the southern U.S., and they continue to champion a call to restore the church, not reform it, but restore it, to what they believe it was meant to be.